Welcome back. If you've been looking at the Zechariah prophecy, you may have wondered what the clue is. I suggest that the key word in that verse is the word lowly. Lowly, humble, some word like that. It's not what you naturally associate with a king, is it? But that might have provided a hint that there was something different about King Jesus. But let's be honest, perhaps for the crowd that was too subtle a clue for them to make much sense of on that occasion. Well, let's come now to the third perspective on Palm Sunday, and that is our own. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are in a Palm Sunday procession, perhaps that original one in Jerusalem, or perhaps a more modern one, such as the ones in India that Heather and I have been associated with. So you're in the procession and you are celebrating Jesus. But there were two Jesuses that day, and we need to ask, which one are we celebrating? One of them was the crowd's Jesus, the Jesus who was going to solve all their problems and make everything right. Is that our Jesus? Ultimately, of course, he does make everything right. That's the outcome of his giving his life as a ransom for our sin. It is the promise of eternity as members of God's family, with every problem removed and every tear wiped away. What a wonderful thing it is to know that that's what lies ahead for us. But that's eternity. What about now? Do we expect Jesus to provide instant solutions to life's difficulties? We all know the standard slogan chanted at a protest rally. What do we want? More pay, or whatever the issue is. When do we want it? Now. And I'd have to say that in my own lifetime, that sort of expectation has become more and more common. We want it now. We're encouraged to think we have the right to have it now. But Jesus challenges that. He wants us to know that it isn't all about me. It isn't all about comfortable answers to all our problems. Of course, this has special relevance to our present circumstances. And of course, I'm referring to the uncertainties and the upheavals that have been brought about by the coronavirus. Suddenly we find that things have gone wrong. We find that I can't do what I want or when I want. I have absolutely no ability to make it right. Of course, the whole of our society is in the same boat. But perhaps as Christians, we are tempted to think that it is Jesus' job to make it right for us. To think like that is to be like the crowd who wanted a king who would put their own world right, and pretty much straight away. That's the crowd's Jesus, but there is another Jesus, one the crowd didn't understand, nor the disciples, nor one they would have wanted even if they had understood. He is a king on his way to suffering. And not only that, he is a king who calls his followers to take up their cross, to live a life that doesn't promise that all problems will disappear as soon as they arise. After I finish just now, you might like to take some time to think about some of these issues and perhaps discuss them with others you are meeting with today. You might ask, what are the particular challenges you are facing at the moment? Or how, as a Christian, are you responding to it all? Or how might you better respond? And is there something specific you can ask the friends you are with now to pray about and to support you in working through? May God bless you as you do this and in all that lies ahead this coming week.